Right, lovely. We'll get going. Funny noise, isn't it? F1 race has just finished. Oh, I mustn't look at my YouTube because I want to find out about that without fucking thumbnails telling me, oh, this guy won, and oh, annoying, right? Anyway, cool. So, gonna answer the creative property question. So, the question was, before agreeing to an assisted sale, what should the investor primarily assess? Really important question, right? What's like the main fundamental? Because I think all these answers were like worthy of consideration, but oh, and by the way, it's no secret now. Like, so I generally I do make these with AI, but they're actually getting pretty shit. I had to like I made this one myself. I made all the options myself, so I'm very proud of it. I just looked at the question. The question was good, and then I was like, oh, these answers were like It was like one of the answers said, what did it say? The color of the property's walls. Like, I don't want to treat my viewers as actual morons. Like, maybe some people don't. A lot of people don't know what a sister sale is, but a lot of people weren't born yesterday. So, the color of the property's walls. Anyway, yeah, what should you primarily assess? Not the color of the property's walls. Um, this is the seller's favorite agent if there are bad neighbours, if the property's GDV and refurb costs, if the vendor solicitor agrees to the deal. Now, of course, the fundamental thing there is the GDV and the refurb costs, just the same as a flip. Yeah, the same as a flip. But luckily with a flip, with an assisted sale versus a flip, you don't have that stamp duty. But yeah, there are other things to consider. How to what extent will the seller have influence on the agent? Um, and then what about the seller's solicitor? They might not know about assisted sales, and this is very true. Seller might have an agent preference, vendor, whatever. But generally, what color are your walls? Yeah, honestly, that was what it told me. Was a very sensible thing to ask my YouTube audience. It's just honestly, yeah. I hope you're doing well, Callum. Haven't got anything on that deal yet. I don't know. I don't know why my investors are asleep, but I'll call them every Wednesday. So if I don't get anything, and if you haven't got anything by Wednesday, I'll call. I'll do some calls on Wednesday. Um, anyway, where were we? Yeah, so the seller's favorite agent. Okay, so that can really be sorted. The seller might have an agent preference, but at the end of the day, in the contract for an assisted sale, the investor is the person who gets the authority to dictate how the sale proceeds. But typically, you're going to be using the agent that you've agreed the assisted sale with anyway. So the only time this might be a slight hiccup is if there were like five agents, But then that seller's desperate. They're not going to care which one. The favorite agent is going to be the one that says, "Oh, actually, we've got this investor who's going to agree, a decent price with you. It's on it's on terms that are a little bit different, etc., etc. But like, why on earth would the seller have a different agent to the one that has actually found us as the provider of the solution to the problem? No worries, mate. I've had interest, but nothing so far. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's interesting. Like the last few deals I posted in my group, I've had three or two, probably two to four messages like on the same day, being like, oh, can I have more info on this? This one was nothing. It might be because like I don't really have any HMO investors. But well, I do. I mean, I've spoken to quite a few, but not so many in the, in networking events and stuff. Not so many in the group. As the as the assisted sale guy, as I've just recently posted my latest YouTube video explaining all of that and why I'm the. I was going to say it again. Yeah, I literally my live stream 2 weeks ago got taken down because I said, no, I don't know. I didn't say. I said it like AS. Honestly, it's not even a bad word. So please don't pull this stream. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm the assistant sale guy. So then it was seller's favorite agent. Yeah, that's not the right answer. If the vendor's solicitor agrees to the deal, well, yeah, but ultimately, what you want to do is have your solicitor kind of control the process, and your solicitor will be specialist and will understand how it works. And this is all, to my understanding, bear in mind, I haven't gone through a deal yet, but you pick a solicitor, develop a working relationship with them, they understand what assisted sale is. They can draft up all the template documents, learn what the heads of terms are that you agree with the vendor. When that gets sent over to the vendor solicitor, I don't know of situations where it's fallen through at that point. Where it has been an issue, genuinely has been an issue for me, is at the heads of terms stage. They then forwarded it on to their solicitor before my solicitor even been instructed, before we'd agreed anything, and then their solicitor was like, this doesn't make any sense, or something like that. Now, that's probably because I was using, rough heads of terms that I drafted myself, rather than anything official, so it's just, the reason I'm with Mark's to obviously do this properly. But his method is you have your solicitor and you offer to pay the vendor's solicitor fees, and that way basically say to the vendor, oh, I'm happy to recommend, or here's my solicitor who is happy to recommend a solicitor on your behalf, if you'd like, who is familiar with these deals. Yeah, don't really know what happens if they say no, and then they choose a solicitor that gets in the way. But realistically, if you've sold the vendor, I think this is basically how you get around it. If you sold the vendor on the idea they want this deal, then they're going to be just as frustrated as you if their solicitor turns around and goes, no, this isn't possible. And then I suppose you can show evidence that, well, it definitely is. Right, then there was the other wrong answer, was if there were bad neighbours. I mean, same as a flip, I guess it's something to consider. Is it the right area? But what is it? The question was, is this the primary concern for an assisted sale? No. I mean, that's the same as a flip. You want to make sure the neighbours are all right, but you can get around these things. But the GDV and refurb costs don't stack. You can't really get around that. So yeah, that's the answer. That's the answer this week. So yeah. How are we doing? Is Callum logged off? That's what my stats are saying. But fair enough. Where am I going now? I'm going to I suppose a recap of the week. Yeah, so one of the things I did was analysing cost up this one. So that's good. Okay, here's a new thing. I genuinely haven't called any estate agents this week. Intentionally. It's not in our. I'm just following Mark Shaw's course to a T now. It's not in our accountability task to call any agents yet. It is actually to analyze some assisted sales. So I've done it. I've done it on this one. I thought the refurb cost on this one was going to be like 75k, but then when I looked into it and actually started adding things up, I found it to be about 35,000 pounds. Now, am I missing something? Probably. I'm hoping Mark will give me feedback on that. But actually, when I just compartmentalized it, and we're of course using non-back contractors, I think probably 35. Oh, you know what? Now I'm looking at it though, you'd probably want new radiators, so that's going to be another onwards. That's probably going to be another grand, 36. But when you compartmentalize it, actually, I don't see it could really go beyond 50. So that's great news for this deal, because at 75k it was like 100% return. 50k it's going to be even greater, perhaps 150% return potential. But again, there's some. I would like to double check the comparables that I got last week, because the idea is going to jump from 550 to 750 with a small refurb. Surely that's too good to be true. So this was 715, and I think the thing is that I might want to factor in is, yeah, like I could achieve a modern finish like this. It's carpeted stairs and yeah, it's like perfectly achievable. But what about the extension? Like, we don't have an extension on ours. We do have a dormer on ours. We don't have an extension on. What about this one? This, well, it doesn't have the dormer. So then maybe that just equals itself out. And I said actually we could get 750 because vibes. No, maybe I should not. Look, I included this one because of the size. Like the 107 square meters is far smaller. Our one is actually this size. The size of the one that sold for 875. Are we gonna get 875? Well, probably not. This one like feels bigger than ours. Looking at the pictures. And we need to knock a wall down. Maybe we do knock a wall down in ours to achieve something like this. It's all, I think, it's all knowing what to do, really. But yeah, this doesn't have a dormer, but it is a bigger feel of property. That it's not gone up there, it's gone back there. So I didn't say our comparables was 800 or anything close. I said 750, but there's got to be an element of the size of our place is actually more like this one for 875. So yeah, you know what? I'm happy with 850 GDP. Looking at this, you're like, well, Elliot, what are you doing? That says 715, and you want to be conservative. No, but this is the size. So yeah, I'm alright with 750. It does seem a bit remarkable that a small refurb could get it up that much. So oh, I don't know. It's a difficult one. I think knocking that down. I'll speak to people basically if this one got agreed. I mean, there's got to be potential to get it up to that level. Oh, we didn't add in like sliding doors, but none of my builders have got back to me on how much that costs. But I'd want to add in some sliding doors there and jet wash. Ay. What was it? Hang on a minute. So this is. Oh dear, I guess I wasn't thinking when I put this together. No, I've just realised so many things that I didn't think of. Probably needs new radiators. Probably needs new bifold door. And it needs a jet wash on the outside. Obviously garden, I said 500 quid just to tidy that messy garden. Oh, you know what? What about like skip hire? Skip hire, because there's a lot of junk in there. Stripping the kitchen units and everything. Skip higher. But no, I think that's it now. Touch words. Yeah. So I think still the worst case is 50k actually, breaking it down. So it's good. Benefit of using non-VAT as well. Right, so that's one of the things I did this week, and then the other things are on my phone. I've let my ESP VIPs, my VIPs know. Went to the Brent Landlords Forum. Yeah, posted about that on my stories. I met a lady who then invited me to BNI, Business Network in Insanity, I'm going to call it, in Harrow. Going to that again on Wednesday to fill in for her. She can't make it next week. But will I join long term to that? Nah, probably not. It's weird. It's like a bit culty, but they're all very good professionals, nice people, but a little bit culty. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? A little bit culty. All this stuff like, what do we do? Da da da! The whole room comes up and says a thing like it's been drilled into them, thousands of times. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Because there's like a speaker with some trophies in front of her and a big official desk, and everyone's round like a UN summit or something. Oh, I really shouldn't do these on Sunday, should I? Fucking hell, where's the energy gone? So, yeah, I did that. So from Brent Landlords Forum, which was huge, by the way, probably about 500 people. Was it very useful? Nah, but it was free. Why am I saying nah? Because it's like products for landlords. I'm not there yet, but maybe it'll be useful in the future. Might be useful to some of you guys if you're a landlord. So yeah, give me a shout. I've got some materials from it I can share with you. I should do anyway, but whether I saved them, I don't know. Send out investment opportunities to more prospective clients. Yeah, I'm raising finance, so I'm offering fixed rate of return from anything from £5,000. If you get £5,000 sat on your bank account and you don't know what to do with it, I'm interest rates at the moment 3-4% are the best savings accounts, so I'll offer 5% on that, and pay the interest quarterly. So you've got like little top ups every 3 months rather than like a typical fixed term saver which like pays it to you at the end. So yeah, like I've got a regular saver at the moment and you're paying a little bit each month, and it's I'm going to get paid at the end of the 12 months, which will be in September I think now, but this is quarterly interest anyway. So doing that, make connections with more tradespeople. Yeah. Oh, don't like picking up the phone, but yeah, I did it. Costed and assisted sale in Boreham Wood, that's what I just told you about. Posted out HMO co-source deal. Yeah, Callum was just here. Might still be here, or I really don't know. No, maybe not. And what else? What else did I do? The Property Entrepreneur Summit. I did that yesterday. Tomorrow's somewhat why I'm so tired, but fantastic event. Truly fantastic. I think I still have my little thingy-mabob from it. There we go, the Property Entrepreneur Summit. Massive event. So good. I've booked my ticket for next year as well. Yeah, lots of talks, lots of speakers. And I loved the last speaker, so much so I was inspired to ask him a question. It was the last question of the day. Then after I asked it, loads of people came up to me. So that was pretty cool. It was actually not related to property question. If you want to know what it was, put it in the comments. It's not really relevant to this video so much. But yeah, if you want to hear it, I can share. And then a bunch of people came up to me for that. More than if I had said, "Hello, everyone. I'm looking for investment." No one would have came up to talk to me. Gosh, why did little girls scream like that? Right. So we've done the recap of the week. Let's get going on our our continuous journey of improvement through property. Okay, that sounded like a load of bollocks, which it was. What I really mean to say is that with Mark Shaw, we're doing a new method. We are costing works remotely. Um, we're doing 15 minutes of research per property. We are and we're going through it progressively, so we're not jumping the gun. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not been calling estate agents this week. So therefore, what's the point of the live streams? It was meant to be to get leads to call estate agents. Well, now it's leads to do whatever Mark is wanting us to do. So it's great. It means, for the others, when Mark gave a task of, all right, find another assisted sale deal and cost up the works this week, you know, everyone else would have gone, oh, right, okay, I have to find time a week to search for another property. No, I just had that one, boring mud one from last week. So let's keep building it up. That's the estate agent ones. I'm gonna actually look at property engine ones because property engine ones I've told property engine, my more specific criteria, which is under 600k properties. Just use the market at the moment. I picked up the pen the wrong side. I've penned myself. Penning hell. That sounds like a swear word, doesn't it? Penning hell. There you go. Live stream's gonna get pulled again. Elliot, keep it up. I don't know what that's referring to. Maybe the stuff I did last week. Yeah. Share with me what you did last week, and you go too. What's your name? Nadia. Oh, nice to meet you. I don't know if we've spoken before, so yeah. Please stay in touch. I can to this journey. Oh, cool. Yeah. Stay in touch, Nadia. Screw it. I think this chat deletes after the live stream, so let's just stay in touch. Okay, and ask me any questions as we go through the stream. So yeah, Property Engine sends me the notifications, and I've recently made sure the notifications are for properties listed at 600k or less. Honestly, just there's not much method to it other than market. I mean, I know the market's slowing down. I've seen it, but sometimes it takes like your mentor to kind of talk about it to wake you up and be like, well, okay, let's actually take action on this rather than just letting it happen. And he was like, if I'm selling a 700k property in London right now, I would be worried. Okay, well, let's look at least 600k or less then. That's literally as simple as the thought was. So yeah. And in terms of other evidence, well, terrorists and semis are like doing fine. They're like bumbling along with inflation. The detached properties are reducing in value. This is a Finchley one, based one, and the flats are really reduced. I mean, flats of prices have tanked. So, but I've never looked for flats anyway, so it's not too bad. So what I'm doing now is I'm looking for my method to assess the best search criteria, the most effective search criteria that achieves good leads. This is the last one for May, so okay, interesting. So this is pack 5. Let's have a look at this. It's been reduced. Now this one looks like it's actually been flipped, or it's quite a new property. It's got that side extension. Well, inside it's not like super new, I guess. Okay, so actually, let's have the external render. It could do with a new kitchen, it could do with new fitted wardrobes, it could do with a new bathroom. Oh, and it's got a kitchen in the bedroom. And another bathroom. Okay, no, I quite potentially like this. Oh, I've already said I'm interested in it. I have a brain like a fish. Need to get it for 500k. Do I though? Because it doesn't need much. It's yeah. I would say it's nice enough outside. The extension. Oh, this must be the granny flat with the kitchen in the bedroom. That's what it will be. Is that an attractive asset, or is it a niche that's going to limit the marketability? I don't know the answer to that question. But would it be wrong to compare to 104 square meter properties, but because it's the sort of nugget on the side, and that is a self-contained annex, so it is like that's its niche. It's got a nicer kitchen than the main kitchen, though, hasn't it? So that needs to be opened up. Does it limit the market? Let me know. What's your background, Nadia? When you find a deal, how do you know it is good? Oh, maybe she's quite new. Um, it really depends what you're looking for. I'm looking for properties that are dated, with similar properties that are modernized, selling for considerably higher in and around half a mile of the first property. When I say similar, I mean they've not had to have a dormer or an extension or maybe 3 into 4 bedrooms in order to achieve a higher price. All they have is a nicer cosmetic finish, kitchen, bathroom, be external render. Like this one's got the external renders, yeah. So that's what I'm looking for. In terms of numbers, I'm looking for the gap to be 50% greater, because I look for a 50% return. I look for the gap between the asking price, or at least let's say asking price, but we can usually negotiate lower, but the asking price, in this case 5, is that the I thought I was saying asking price anyway, jeez. So the asking price of 550 to be, and the gap between the 550 and the end value, which I talked about the similar properties, you take an average of 3. For example, 690, 700 and 710, the average is 700. There I want the gap between the 550 and the 700 to be 50% greater than all of my costs. I'm lucky with an assisted sale, I don't need to worry about purchasing the 550 property. I would recommend that you, if you don't know what an assisted sale is, you go on my Instagram, and the first reel that's pinned to the top talks you through an assisted sale deal. I also have a link in the bio that has a free brochure on assisted sales, but I don't need to worry about purchasing the property. We'll just skip to that knowledge. I know I'm assuming knowledge, but we don't need to purchase the property. So I just need to worry about the gap between the 550 and the 700, i.e. £150,000. That's what I've got to work with. That's the margin I've got to play with. And I need to make sure that after my costs, which 550 and 1k, my costs are going to be like 50k refurb. No, let's say that 80k refurb, and then it's 10k agency fees, and then it's 10k sourcing fee. Now my cost is 650, So the gap is it 50% of my costs. My costs were between 550 and 650. They were £100,000, and now the gap between the 650 and the 700 is £50,000. Well, £50,000 is 50% of my costs, £100,000. So that is the like the bare minimum that I'm looking for. And the reason for that is because we're only dealing with £100,000 of costs. That margin of 50k, especially in the London market where things are getting reduced, that's the minimum safety net I want to have. Because of the time invested as well, you don't want a 20% return. You don't want to forecast you're going to make 20%, because then in that situation, if it was like a 20% thing, the property is GDV is 670. Or what if they reduce it by £10,000? What if they reduce it by £20,000? Then you're not making any money. So if we have that 50% margin, 50% return on investment margin, then even if that property doesn't achieve 700, it achieves 680, but we still made 30k. Um, 100k is turned into 130k, still made 30. So what I'm looking for is, to recap, a dated property, 3 modernised properties selling for hire, and when I say in the vicinity, half a mile, and when I say hire, I mean higher such that the average of those 3 is at least 50% above my costs. I can make a 50% margin. That's the kind of matter of fact things I can look for. Then there's the personal side. Don't forget that property is a personal game, because with all the best will in the world, with a property where the margin maybe is 100%, it's clearly dated property, and you could go in without thinking that, wow, this is an assisted sale. The vendor must agree to this or he's stupid. But the vendor's not motivated to sell, then you're wasting your time. Could be on paper fantastic, but the vendor needs to be motivated to get rid of it. Now, if he's just listed the property yesterday, he thinks it's going to sell normally, not to an investor. Why would he want an investor to come along? If it's been on for 6 months, and maybe they had a sale agreed previously and it's fallen through, it's getting frustrated, he has to go through the whole process again. And when I come along and say, now I'm providing a solution, as an assisted sale, again, I won't go through it loads of detail now. First post on the top of my Instagram, Elliot Sykes. Well, no, actually, no, I'm the AS guy. I can't even say it on YouTube, it's ridiculous. The AS guy, first post, and also the link in my bio of the Instagram. You can, well, I mean, I can literally show it. And like, instead of just talking about it. Oh, now that's embarrassing. Don't Google me. How about what? This is my old name. Maybe this is still. Oh yeah. Yeah. Right. It's interesting. Google's not sort of updated. Anyway, so you need the vendor to be motivated to do the deal. The page isn't available. Yes, well, it's because I changed my name, Google. Anyway, yeah, so I know a deal is good where I've got someone motivated to sell. Now for me, as an assisted sale, I'm not looking for someone who's motivated necessarily to sell by the lowest price, like the ultimate speed and the lowest price, because with an assisted sale, the completion is delayed until the refurbishment has happened. I'm looking for someone who wants to lock in a certain price that they need. So they're motivated because, 3 months ago they agreed the price they wanted, and now they can't. Their agent's telling them, well, you're going to have to reduce, and they're thinking, yeah, but we literally achieved the price before. What's going on? And I go, well, this is how you can achieve that price, but I'll have to refurbish the property first before you can get the money, and then that's a sale. So yeah, motivated seller matches up with yeah, nice question, thank you. Matches up with a property that's dated and has 3 comparables above 50% of my costs. Once you take the purchase price of the property off, because that's what you're sharing with the vendor. Don't forget that this comes off your profits as well. Otherwise, like, the vendor gets nothing. So no, that comes off your profits as well. This plus the refurbishment and all your other costs, and then you have to have those other properties 50% above your costs. So with this one, I've already said I'm interested. That's good, but we've got this granny annex that we're not really sure what to think about it, are we? So I'm gonna look for comparables, and I'm actually gonna look at comparables that are small, because if the annex wasn't there, we'd be looking at 80 square meters kind of thing, literally like this. And yeah, that, and it's a low price. So I know I must have got my comparable figures from somewhere before, but actually, whether it's more pessimistic now, I actually think comps are not there. Because what's the granny annex really adding to the end value? For someone, it's great. I think they got planning for granny annex. Can you turn that into the rest of the house? I suppose that's a question to be asked. Because if so, then I think this is a wider appeal to more people. You can see the next door's added a 3 meter side extension. So a councillor may be happy to allow for development. Keeping it interested, but as we go back to this thing, is it a quality lead? Yeah, I think we are considering it. Reduced recently listed is this one here, and it's just sneaking in at 599 under my 600 criteria. Blimey, it's been reduced 100 grand. Wow, quite clearly is full of rubbish. Oh. So it's not too bad inside, but it could do with new stuff. It's even not too bad. Like, it could do with new stuff. But is that the reason it's not selling? It's probably because of all this crap in the yard. It's gonna be a garden tidy up job. Yeah, that's a horrible garden. Fence, everything. Tidy that up. Tidy oh, the neighbours having new windows put in, that's also, maybe not a time when people want to buy. So I'd want to ask if the work on the neighbouring property has finished. because that's going to affect people's willingness to buy at that time. And then, yeah, it's a tidy up job, really. I think the inside, you wouldn't spend more than 10 grand on it, maybe a new kitchen. Bathroom, yeah, okay, yeah, 15 grand. 15, 20 max. Probably 15 inside. 15, 20 inside. And then probably another 10 outside, to be honest. It needs a lot of work outside. So that's like, it's dated, not quite, but there is a reason it can't sell, I think. It's that junk in the yard, perhaps what's going on next door. And it's been reduced loads of times, so perhaps the vendor is kind of motivated to like not go any further and achieve the right price now. 129 square meters. I don't know about that. We're gonna look for some comparable properties to see if there's much money to be made if this is nicely modernized. So we might have to look into the four beds in order to get the right size, and I'm happy to do that. Just taking it with a pinch of salt. I will never go that high. Something like this. You know what? When there aren't like modernized properties in the area, you just have to say there's no comparables, and that's the unfortunate situation. Okay, this one is like a modernized. Oh, is it finished? Well, they didn't finish modernizing it. Shame. Okay, so it's over 600, but let's say I would have surely got more if the works had been finished. Yeah, it's quite hard to judge the value of that. Because that surely would have been more. Sorry. Excuse me. Not seeing much in the way of the comparables. No, not quite seeing it for this one. I see the problems, but there's just not a lot of potential for it. So that's going to be the end for May. So what can we draw? Can we draw any conclusions from this of what sort of search criteria are working and which ones are not? And we may be drawing in from past months as well. Mm, I think we're at the point where they all can produce quality leads. They really can. So yeah, no, I don't need to change anything. I think. Well, the ones that are red, they're ones that have gone. Yellow, yeah, the cash only reduced. I was thinking about changing that one. I don't know. I don't know. You see. Well, laptop's hot. Let's do another 15 minutes. I think that's fair, guys. I think that's basically when the stream started properly, kicking into gear. So yeah, we'll do another 15 minutes. And then I've had us like 3 weeks ago when it was super hot. Geez, the laptop actually died on me, so I couldn't finish my stream. How do you want me to do this good? Yeah, I think that's the question was answered by me, and she left. But anyway, thanks, Nadia Castro. Let's not look at her channel on our stream because they're intrusive, isn't it? Anyway, what have you been posting? Probably nothing. Most people with a YouTube channel don't post anything. But I'm different from them. I'm a creator. I'm definitely a consumer though. Oh my god. And a bit too much really. Probably a bit too much. Right, reduce recently listed 5 mile, which bridge quote 425, end of tariffs. Sounds good to me. I think this looks good if there are comparables that are. I mean, I'm saying roughly to the. Because this doesn't need to be a super high spec job. This is a 30k refurb, actually. So, what say ye comparables? Not looking great. 2 bedrooms, 94 square meters. That's quite big for 2 bed. 94 square meters. I mean, that's amazing now. That's not really comparable. So, we're going to increase to 3 bed. Take them with a pinch of salt, there, aren't we? And I want to look at a small 3 bed. So perhaps this one, 83 square meters. Okay. Well, I'm looking for modernized comparables. I'm not looking for that load of shambles. Dated. No. No. Where's the appetite for a nice new, newly renovated house? Come on, where's that appetite for it in the local area? Come on, come on, come on. Look, if it's not there, it's not there. Time's gone by. Hmm. And that's the house in London for 500 grand now. Right, but that's a flat. Yeah, so, yeah, oh, that's a shame. It looked good. There's no comparables, unfortunately, so, yeah, unfortunately not for that one. What did you say, another 15? Let's start that timer now. I think another 15 from now is also good. I'm getting into it, you know. Oh my god, I've just spent like minutes of my live stream just checking my messages. Isn't that insane? You guys watching home just like, oh, this guy. You're probably doing it yourself then. Phones are distracting. No, I did have a bit of an urgent tennis coaching message to reply to. Right, no, I'm not allowed 15 minutes now because I wasted 3 minutes there. 12 minutes, let's go. One removed property that I'm watching. Did they change estate agents? Like, that is still that I walk up and down here every day and the sign's still out there. Sold, so I just want really a 600k. It won't be. I offered 525, 500 plus a profit share, so 525 in probably 525 profit share, but bare minimum 500. It is not worth it. This I will keep watching it. It is not worth anything more than what I offered. Bricks and mortar, it's worth 475. The viewing agent was a valuer, and that's what they told me. So anything close to 600 is ridiculous. It's literally got a hole in the window. Like there's issues in this property. The full walls in the roof, thankfully, are good. But apart from that, there's issues in this property. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for letting me know, Property Engine, that this one has sold at the moment. But let's double check that my notifications cover for when that comes back on the market. Yeah, great. Shame. Yeah, I swear I've done really few properties anymore. Like I viewed that one, and then you don't get the deal, and it's like, well, what was the fucking point? Sorry, what was the point of viewing? Ah, I've done it again. Right, put one back on the market that you're watching. Okay, back on the market. No way. No way. Literally in like January I offered on this damn thing. Wow. Wow, when I said, okay, this is a good one. This is why Property Engine, this is why I pay my £30 a month to Property Engine, these alerts, and because yeah, so this sale has fallen through. From February to June. I offered an assisted sale, they sounded alright on the phone, then when I sent the email, they said never forwarded it on. Never forwarded it on. So what to do, man? Because I'm gonna wait until Mark. Because basically, the reason it wasn't forwarded on, basically, and I've showed Mark my templates. Said they just aren't credible. They're not credible enough. And they've now put it on at 400. Same price it sold for last time. But I think I'm in the power to offer sort of 380. And I think the GDV was at 490 for this one. Yeah. And there were rental comparables as well. Because it looks like a buy-to-let type property. Kind of. This is really right. So it's kind of over £2,000 rent, and I like this one. Yeah, 495k without an essential, so let's say 490. Yeah, so I like this one. Come on, let's go. Yeah, it's a straightforward refurb. Just basically, literally, just follow the CGI concept. It's not hard, but I'd put a bit more color involved. I hate the grades these days. It's just so boring. Anyway, right. This is a major. This is a major. Like I'm writing it down in my. It's kind of like a hello. Um, Not darkness, my old friend, but hello. Shit, told my old friend. No. Oh no, now I'm gonna get taken down again. It's weird. I do swear sometimes in my live streams. I never get taken down. It's that the association with the swear word in guy. I think it was the problem. Right. Anyway, yeah. Save the back on him. Yeah. Okay. So what was the? It feels so satisfying though when you told an agent, well, it might fall through. They don't listen, and it's fallen through. So that's a back on, and it's a good one. So yeah, always good to follow up. Keep your eye on prop. Don't give up. Don't give up on things. Like in the moment, you go, okay, that one's gone for now. Move on. But it's you keep the alerts in case it comes back because yeah, it might well come back, and there we go. And that's a really good price range as well. I think it's going to stay under 500k at the resale, and I think that's a realistic price to sell. Yeah. Matthew and Rowe back. These are anyway. These are back final. I know the other one is actually the thingy. So that's a duplicate. Matthew and Rowe. Strange name, isn't it? Right. This look just based on the outside looks like it's gonna be dated inside. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that definitely needs work. I don't like the sort of level of the lack of photos. I'm not a fan of. Also, it's with an estate agent that have said we will never do assisted sales to me, and there's a thing ruin my reputation by sort of trying this on before Mark's course, perhaps. But I have other email addresses, so and I don't have to contact the same lady Mia that I did before. So I think there's still potential, but looks in the sort of expensive like if this is done nicely, we're looking at like a 750 resale, so that's potentially an issue. Or are we? Because here are the actual comparables for 90 square meters. And it doesn't look great, does it? What, 590? And that's a nice one, isn't it? Yeah, well, okay. So, and that's the same shit. Okay. Don't get it. It can forget off. So, there we go again. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Bye bye. Where are we up to now? 4th of June. Yeah, we're getting close. Woodhouse Avenue. Reduced recently listed. That's actually a search criteria that I might take off because oh god, the reduced recently listed people, perhaps they're motivated to sell it quickly cash. No, that's not quite what I was looking for. Right, anyway, perhaps they're quick cash, whereas the back on the market they're the assisted sales. Anyway. Hurts that agent again. Not no chance with you, but I can't go into it with that mindset, so I'll probably change the email and everything. But yeah, it's the right type of property. Property engine's doing well at getting me the right type. Well, I mean, credit to myself, I suppose. I put the right criteria in, but does the right type of thing. Let's see. Aha, there we go. A nice, well presented version is, yeah, I would say so. But the price is like what, 50k higher than this one's going for. So that's not, we were talking about 50% margin over the refurb cost. That's no margin, well, over all costs. That's probably negative margin over all costs. Yeah, it's not going to sell high enough. It's like, I feel like I know quite quickly now which ones are just like not going to happen before I even look at the comparables. Because I've been doing this every Sunday. I'm getting pretty good. Right, work's going on next door. Huh. Maybe that's a factor of why they want to just get rid of it. No one likes of a developer who doesn't mind. Oh wow, they're into all their sundial and Healy shit and all that stuff. Patterson. Okay, it's Jill with the States and Patterson. Got a price of 550. Marcus Road. The type of house looks fairly upmarket, so might actually have higher comparables here. Really annoying, I get spots in my earlobe. Can you believe it? They're so big? Oh, what's the size? 90? 94? This laptop's pretty hot. I think we're getting close to the end, aren't we? No, it didn't quite do it. This was 91. 615. No way, we're actually there. That's 94, 625. Yeah, and the place was actually pretty bad, no? Like, oh, it's not terrible actually. It's actually not terrible, but 65, it's just not. No, it's just not there. That would need to be like 450. Which feels sad to say, like, but at least I'm thinking, okay, so that property is not going to investor. It's going to, hopefully, it's going to a family. If it's going to an investor, then I just feel bad for that investor. That naive investor. You can tell I do not want to stop, so let's just hey, let's keep going. Is anyone watching? Probably not. No, but that's fine. We've already done an hour. I think that's enough. My live streams used to be like an hour and a half, and it's just like nobody's watching that. It's just yeah. Lemsford Court. I don't really care if anyone watches though. In fairness, just about me getting stuff done. Externally wise, I hate Pebble Dash, and they've done new to Pebble Dash. Why? But it's new, and this, yes, looks like a new property. So, uh, why I'm sad about that is because that's a little bit nicer than the property that I was thinking could sell for 490. That I wanted to invest in to come back in the market, and this can't even sell for 450. Shh. And this is Bournemouth, so it's the same area. So, the market, man. Why can't this sell for 450? It's actually quite nice. Like, it's not bad. The same agent as well. Crap. I don't know why, but I'm interested because it relates to the other one, and it might even be a lease option if they can't get the right price. So yeah, because definitely this would let out to nice tenants, surely. Yeah, that would let out to a small family, young family, nice tenant. I guess talking like a landlord now. Sorry, that was recently listed. Yeah. Alright, when you see anything starting with a 3 in London, take a breath. Because it's gonna be. Yes. Yes. Look at that. Beauty. Oh, ho, hoi. I guess at the time it was like, this is Italiana. Sicilian lemon. Whatever. Potential garage to convert. What could be? What could be? It's an exciting property. It's only just been added though. Ah. Okay, so what could be? What could be? An exciting property. 97 square meters. It could be. It could be easily. It could be better than that. Actually, let's look for something better. Better than that. Oof, and better than that as well. Yeah, yeah. Stuff people put up with and just I don't even know. At least there's colour. Aha, this is what it could be. That's the exact thing. A flip. You can see why it's just when it's just been done. It's been done by a developer because he's not interested. But this is snagging. That's what it could be. That is it. Lovely. 625. And it's on for 390. Yeah, as an assistant say, I believe the margin's okay there. As a flip, I mean, it just don't work anymore, right? Surely. Unless it's a probate, you can get exemption from stamp duty. Hoi la la la. Nice, isn't it? No, no. So that's only like to one fantastic comparable. This one that's I guess it paints a picture. Like it shouldn't sell for less than this because the the decor and stuff in here is just weird. And then we would ideally like another comparable to solidify our position. This one might do because it seems a bit like, well, no, it's not to quite such a high standard the other flip, but nonetheless that's what's happened. So yeah, so we are looking therefore at 625, 595 and 65 again, right? Amazing. So yeah, so this auction one's good. It's going to be going for it, but a little post auction. Hi, would you like this to sale? Could be of value. So the comps are trying to do this without a calculator, which is really good viewing, isn't it? 615. Oh, I want to check that. That's what I think the comparables are. Should not have taken that long. Especially if I got it wrong. 625 plus 625 plus 595 divided by 3. It is 615. Congratulations, Elliot. Slow maths, but correct maths. 615 is the average of those three. The way I worked it out was actually so autistic. I went 40 plus 40 plus 10 divided by 3 equals 30. The difference between 10 and 40 is 30. Because I knew the difference between 595 and 625 was also 30. But then if the average between 10 and 40 comes in at 30, then the average between 595 and 625 will come in at 615 because of 20 above them. That, wow, sideways loopy thinking there, isn't it? Okay, yeah. So that's what was that? I kind of just want to say thank you for watching. That was a nice segue, wasn't it? I'll give that. Yeah, I like this one. Thanks for watching. Do I need alerts really? I'll put it bloody here. I just need to, like, take some action. But what I want to know is when the auction sells. Post 23rd of June. Make a little offer. Yeah. Best luck. Did they take me seriously because I haven't viewed it? Auction. Think I need to. I need to ask Mark because Mark's not teaching us to work with auction houses at the moment. Think I should sort of lally-fire that with him. Right, we're up to the 9th of June. It's the 14th of June, so basically just last week. That's pretty good going actually because we started today at the 30th of May, so happy with that. Just happy, like the Queen. I'm very happy to be dead. No, oh, she would have been 100 this year, wouldn't she? Literally by now, I think her official birthday was in April, so she would have been 100 this year. But tell you what, it feels like a long time since she died, actually. What has happened since 2022? It's a lot. Like, Liz Truss was a Prime Minister when she died. Jesus. So we got Sunak and Starmer, and now we want to get rid of Starmer. Politics is mad. We're just like changing the fucking puppet. It's just like, no, we need actual something to change. Some people believe that's the Greens. Some people believe it's Reform. I don't really love Reform, but I hate the Greens more. So how am I going to vote Reform? Oh God, Farage is a bit of a, it's not. It's not the type of character I necessarily want. And I want someone a bit more level-headed than Farage. I don't actually think he's. Why am I putting this on the internet? I don't know. I don't actually think he's like a racist. Obviously, there's comments he made as a kid. I think those things do go around at school. It's interesting to know he was the initiator, though. Yeah, I don't know. I'm undecided whether I'd vote for him or it's like the one that's a bit more sensible might be Kemi Badenoch, but it feels like the closer you go to the middle in politics these days, the weaker you get. There's sort of everything gets diluted. So I don't know. Everything's diluted. The Lib Dems are supposed to be in the middle, aren't they? But I don't think they are. I think actually Labour's probably more Labour and Lib Dev will swapped. If Labour's right in the middle, what? Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Politics is weird. And then there's Restore, another one on the right. Which is like, I actually think Lowe's probably a better character than Farage. Less egotistical. Less egotistical than Farage. But the people who support Lowe maybe are racist actually. Because he's like that far. Is he far right? I don't even know. I don't know. It's an interesting discussion, isn't it? It's not going to be Labour, especially not. I'm an entrepreneur. One of the major things I know since coming in is the cost of setting up a company went from 12 quid to 50 quid, then to 100 quid. The tax is made digital. You have to have this digital ID as a company owner. Yeah, no, so it's not going to be Labour. Anyway, the vote's not until ages. They're probably just going to like, they'll probably just keep stuff on there because what's the point? Still Labour. The end of the day, changing it. Right. Nobody's watched to this point anyway, so it's fine. I'm just sort of thinking aloud. Oh gosh, right. Oh, if you have made it this far, check out my latest YouTube video on my personal brand and my as the assisted sale guy. I'd love your support on my videos. Let me know what videos and content you'd like me to make as well. And please do subscribe. That'd be great. Bye. See you next time. Actually, I should set a goal, shouldn't I? So, but it's weird now because my goal is really just like keep up with Mark Shaw's training. That's it. Yeah, and how to keep that fresh and spicy each week, I don't know. But I just need to keep up. Because I kind of want to set the goals myself, but he sets the goals. Now, maybe my goal is to keep up, and it's not like he doesn't set enough. He sets enough. I'm slightly behind on his macro items, like the big items in a refill, like damp course. I haven't got anyone to tell me about that yet, but slightly behind with that. So, if anything, slightly too much, but then I want to keep it interesting. I want to have initiative, set the goals myself, and I kind of miss doing it. So, keep up with Mark's goals, and perhaps go the extra mile. Add some. I think he said that you can. He's going to set the bare minimum, but you can always do more. Yeah. Right, bye.